What's up, guys? This is Alaena, and I'm hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live.
This new single, California Hate, that just dropped, it's you just keep dropping so many great singles. Like every track that you've been dropping, I'm like, how is she doing it? Because you're doing this all on your own. But tell me about this track, and why was this the right track to kick off 2019?
So this song for me, I was really feeling this for the past year, and it's all about feeling really alone in a place where everybody is just trying to get somewhere and trying to do what they want to do in life, and you can't really connect with people and make friends as well as you can if you're back in your hometown. And it just felt right for me, putting something out that was so true and transparent. So I was like, 2019 is going to be the year of truth for me. Everybody is going to get to know about who I am and what I am as an artist and what my sound is going to be like.
And what's that like for you, being able to kind of open up a little more to your audience? I'm sure that's nerve-wracking at the same time.
It's scary. Like, it is seriously, it was really hard for me to finally be able to let people know what I go through. Is just, I don't know, it's kind of hard to even talk about because it's like cracking a shell. It's so digging at it, and finally I'm just like, you know what? I want to connect with people, and I want people to be able to feel what I feel and relate. So the best thing that I could do is just be honest in my music.
And as you're opening up more, how are you making yourself comfortable when you're releasing these songs?
Talking to my fans. Yeah. I've really been trying to connect with, I call them the A-team, and it's crazy because I never would have thought that people would have related to the things that I write, because I'm like, nobody feels like this, but people do, and it's amazing. So being able to talk to them and be on a more personal level with them really helps me just feel better about myself and what I'm putting out.
What kind of inspired your sound? Because it's grungy, but at the same time, like, your vocals are just insane, like high pitched. Like, how do you do this?
It's really funny because everyone's like, that's not your voice. I'm like, yes, it is, because my voice is not that high when I'm talking. So, but yeah, I mean, I have my roots from when I was in a band, so everything I write or create always has this dark essence to it, and that's kind of like the whole just base of what I do. And I mean, I just love like black metal, but then I also love pop music. So meshing them together is like just comes naturally for me.
And your sound, the grunge sound, the like electronic type of sound, like that is incredible too. It's something that, people try and do it today, but it doesn't compare to like what you have been creating. What kind of inspires that?
I really like Grimes, and I feel like Grimes is one of those artists that just doesn't care what anybody thinks, and she just does whatever, and she has a really cool electronic sound. So I really like her, but then I also take inspo from like Manson, who has the more industrial like bits to it. I'm like a huge Manson fan. If he ever wants to collab,
nice, there you go.
Hit me up. I know, right? I'm just like, please. Yeah, and just kind of like following not necessarily the trends, because I try to stay away from like the really in-your-face ones, but noticing what's happening and then try and do what could be next, and then see if it works or not. That's kind of like, I just put whatever my brain wants to come out. It's just like, all right, that's it. That's the sound that I like in my head. I'm like, this sounds cool.
So what's it like for you creating this? When you go into the studio and you create this, you obviously come in, I'm assuming you come in with the lyrics already ready to go, but how do you get inspired to bring these kinds of like sounds that you put in your track?
Really, I mean, sometimes doesn't start with just the lyrics. Sometimes I'll just sit down and start a track. If I like hear a sound that I really like when I'm going through the synth noises, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, and then I kind of create a track all around that, or like a jump beat I'm thinking of. And it's funny because actually I will have dreams about noises that I think would be really cool. Or if I hear something outside, I'm like, oh, imagine that if it was in like my song and I add some effects to it or something.
Right.
So that's kind of like where I'll kind of do that. I even record some things and then like with my microphone and then just mess them all up and everything.
That's
if I have like an idea of a sound that I really liked. But yeah, a lot of it actually is like when I'm sleeping. I'll wake up and be like, oh my God, I have to recreate that noise. Or
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's interesting.
That's so cool. Now, are you producing all of this yourself? And if so, like, how did you kind of learn to kind of create your own music?
So I started putting out the songs that I have been producing with the Dope Show cover, and then Brand New and California Hate. And then the songs before that, I was working with a producer, and we were kind of collabing on our music, and he would take some of the stuff I had from even before I put any music out, and whenever he came to me, I was like, oh, this is what I have. He's like, well, this part's really cool. Let's take that, and then we can mesh it together into a new song.
Right.
So, yeah, it's just been me here for the Dope Show onto what I'm doing now, and the next songs I'm putting out. I'm producing myself, but I'm also working with a band.
Oh,
and
cool.
Yeah, so I'm going to have a live band, and they are also going to be part of the Alaena brand.
Okay.
And the guitar player, she's a female, and she's kick-ass.
Nice.
Like, she's sick. She's so cool looking. She's a great guitar player, and we've been working on songs together, and she'll send me stuff and I'll send her stuff. I'll go down there and we're kind of collabing too.
Nice.
So yeah, a lot of the production is done right here.
Now, how different will it be now that, you know, there's going to be a full band involved? Like, is that going to change like the not the performance, but the actual music?
No. So a lot of the songs I have guitar in there. Sometimes it's really disguised because I'll kind of try and recreate like a synth almost with the guitar. But it's not going to change the style at all. It's all going to stay true to what I have now. And I think it's honestly going to make it even more organic because I can't play guitar. Like I could play a couple chords, but I can't play the guitar that I want to have in my music. So I think that's really going to help put what I want out there. Okay.
Now, as far as like evolution in your sound or in your creative process, like how do you feel your evolution has kind of gone from bad to now?
It has definitely darkened. Because when I put out Bad, it was like the first pop song that I put out. Still had a little bit of dark elements to it, but it was really pop and followed the structures and just the rules, you know. And I really want to break the rules. I'm not like a rule follower. So I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I need to go outside of my comfort zone because that's where I'm comfortable and just put out what I feel like my brain would want to have. And that's kind of like where the progression started happening, is the more that I put into my project than just me and my producer, and it was more drifting to my side of what my producing is kind of like where it started getting a little bit darker and the interesting like industrial-esque sounds. So
do you feel like it was just like a natural progression, or do you feel like you were still trying to figure it out as you were going?
Honestly, I think I was still trying to figure it out because my brain was pulling me in all kinds of different ways because I didn't really know what I wanted, but I did know what felt right. So there was always that little essence in there of my sound today, but I really feel what I'm doing now is 100% like me. Yeah, and I am so excited about it. I couldn't be more happy with the stuff that I'm creating right now.
Nice. Now let's jump in to talk about the music video for this track, because I feel like you just go hands-on with everything. Even like from your Instagram posts, I noticed that it's like very specific, the way that you know, the colors that you use, the way that you write, the way that you post. Like, tell me about the visuals behind your music. Like, why are these visuals so important to you?
I am a firm believer in giving your fans a full package. So it needs to be the music, the visuals, the art, everything is like is an art form to me. So I just like, I could just see whenever I make the music, I just see what I would want the video to be like, or the colors that I want to go with it. And it's kind of like everything just goes together whenever I'm creating. But I do all that myself, and I think that's kind of what helps make it look so cohesive, is because it's me behind all of it. And I mean, besides the help of like my old roommate and my best friend, she helps me film the videos, and I do the editing, and you know, the people that help me I'm so thankful for. But yeah, it's just like we filmed the video for California Hate right here in this room.
Wow.
And you literally could not tell.
Wow.
Like you could not tell that was filmed in this room.
That's crazy.
We built like a whole set around my bed. It was nuts.
That is crazy. Tell me more about this video. Like what kind of inspired the set of this video, and you know, what was that production process like for the video?
I decided I was going to film the video the night before we filmed it.
Oh shit.
I know. I'm just like, had this great idea, and I was like, I gotta do it tomorrow, because my drummer was leaving for tour with a band that he's touring with right now. Yeah. He was leaving for tour the next day, and I was like, guys, can you make it to a video shoot tomorrow? And they're like, yeah, we're down. I was like, okay.
Oh my god.
What am I gotta get all this stuff together. Oh my god. So yeah, that was like literally a one day, like, let's put together everything. Let's figure out how it's going to go. And I had to worry about the other two people too, my guitar player and my drummer, which I haven't really had to put thought into. It's usually just me having to worry about me. And I'm like, oh, what are they going to wear? What are they going to look like? What are we going to have this? So it was really cool. But the inspiration was built around feeling isolated and alone and going crazy in your head. So you can kind of see the nods of that in the video. And yeah, I have a weird style to me whenever I'm put in front of the camera. Like either I can be really awkward, or I can just let myself be like freaky and just like move my face all around. Like I'm just like a crazy.
It's intense. I see that all the time with your posts, and I'm like, that's so amazing.
Yeah. So, and I feel comfortable in front of my old roommate. So she just is like, all right, get it. And I'm just like, okay, like pulling my mouth around. Yeah. But yeah, I think it just shines how I really actually feel. And just isolated and alone, not to like be weird, but everybody feels like this sometimes. And that's how I've been feeling. So it was really just a raw, honest experience. When you watch it, hopefully you can see and feel that, because that's what I want everybody to see and feel. Right.
That's crazy. Your visuals, your music, everything is just like 100% all around. Now, what are the plans for 2019? You have the single that's out now. You mentioned there's more music coming, but are you in the process of maybe doing another EP, maybe doing an album, or do you just want to kind of release singles as you're creating these songs?
Well, I have a backlog of a lot of songs. Like a lot of songs. And I was going to put out an EP, and I decided against it because I really wanted my fan base to be at a certain level, and I wanted to be connected with them to a certain point before I put out a body of work that I felt extremely confident about. So I kind of put that on the back burner and decided to just keep doing singles and see what happens from there. So my plan is to release a single every month until I decide that I do want to do the EP, and then I can see what happens from there. But live shows for sure is going to be happening in 2019. I would love to be on a tour. Like even just for a couple days opening, that's like my main goal right now. I really just want someone to give me the chance to go on tour and play for everybody, because I feel like for me, I just need to be put in front of an audience, and I just want to like capture them and be like, listen to me, listen to me. That's the hardest part, is getting yourself in front of that audience and being like, okay, take me as I am. I hope you like it. That's
cool. I look forward to that. I definitely want to see what a live show for you kind of looks like. Now, for those that are not familiar with you, like, why did you want to be in the music industry? Why do you create music?
I create music because it's my source of an escape, like away from reality, away from the crazy things that's going on, and it makes me feel it's so good. Like when I listen back to something that I make, it like almost makes me want to cry. 'Cause I'm like, wow, I did this, you know? So it's like just an empowering feeling for myself, to myself, because I struggle with that sometimes. So if it's something that makes me feel good, then that's like right there where I need to be, and where I feel like a lot of people need to be, is do what makes them feel good. And music is what makes me feel good. And I hope that I can connect with people and make them feel great as well through my music. That's really my main goal with my music, is just to connect with myself and with other people. So yeah,
that's perfect. Well, thanks again for hanging out with me. You guys be sure to check out the new video. It's out now for California Hate. Thanks for watching. This is Alaena, Rob, here on Front Row Live.